Welcome to Whispers of Power's Chosen Souls. Have you ever wondered why you move through life feeling like an observer instead of a participant? You sit in rooms where everyone seems excited about the same things, yet something inside you feels out of step. While people around you chase approval, trends, or comfort, you find yourself thinking about purpose, truth, and the bigger picture. This is not because you are broken or out of place. It is because you were never built to blend in. Some people are wired to fit the mold, others are wired to break it. You belong to the second group. Being different can feel lonely. It can make you doubt yourself or question why nothing ever feels normal for you. But what you may not see is that your difference is a sign of depth. It is evidence that your spirit has a sharper sense of reality, a clearer intuition, and a stronger connection to meaning. While others walk on the surface, you are diving into the layers beneath. This introduction is not here to convince you that you are special. It is here to remind you that the discomfort you feel is not wasted. Every moment you have felt misunderstood, every time your energy shifted and people drifted away, every dream or gut feeling you could not explain, all of it has been shaping you. These are not weaknesses, they are clues to who you truly are. In this space, you will begin to see why you are not like the rest, and why that is your greatest strength. Now, let's get started, chosen ones. Number 1. You have vivid dreams and déjà vu moments. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid, it felt like you had actually been there? Not just a random dream, but one that left an imprint on your mind, as if you were given a glimpse into another layer of reality. For many people, dreams fade as soon as they open their eyes, but for you, they feel alive. You remember the faces, the places, the emotions, and sometimes even the exact words spoken. Days or weeks later, something happens in real life that matches what you saw. That moment of déjà vu leaves you stunned, wondering how you could have known before it happened. This is not a trick of your mind. It is a sign that your spirit moves beyond the ordinary limits of time. Imagine this. You are sitting with a friend in a cafe. The smell of coffee, the sound of a particular song playing in the background, even the way they lift their cup, it all hits you at once. You know you have experienced this exact scene before, not in waking life, but in a dream you had months ago. It is not coincidence. It is your inner awareness showing you how deeply connected you are to unseen patterns and energies. Your mind and soul are tuned like an antenna that picks up signals most people cannot detect. This can be confusing or even overwhelming at first, but it is also a gift. It means you are deeply aligned with your intuition. You are not guessing, you are remembering. Instead of brushing these moments off, start paying attention to them. Write down your dreams. Reflect on your déjà vu experiences. Over time, you will notice a pattern, and that pattern will reveal something powerful. Your life is not random. Your spirit is actively guiding you. The very moments that make you feel strange are the proof that you are connected to something bigger, something purposeful, something extraordinary. Number 2. You've lost everything more than once. There comes a point in life when everything you once depended on suddenly falls apart. The people you trusted disappear. The job you thought was secure vanishes. The plans you built with so much hope crumble overnight. You sit there staring at the pieces, wondering how you are supposed to start over again when you have nothing left. But what if losing everything was never a punishment? What if it was the universe preparing you for something greater than what you had planned for yourself? Think about a tree in winter. It looks lifeless, stripped of every leaf, exposed to the cold. But what you cannot see is that beneath the surface, its roots are growing deeper. It is gathering strength for the season ahead. That is you. Every loss you have faced was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to strengthen your roots so your next season could hold more fruit. Maybe you lost people you thought would be with you forever. It hurt deeply, but look closely. Their absence forced you to find your own voice. Maybe you were left with an empty account or a broken heart. Still, something in you kept breathing, kept believing. That resilience was the lesson. There is a kind of wisdom that only comes from being broken. When you have been stripped bare, you learn to rebuild with intention. You stop chasing validation and start chasing peace. You begin to see that what you lost was never the foundation of your destiny. So the next time life pulls the rug from under you, do not see it as the end. See it as divine pruning, clearing away what cannot go where you are headed, because every time you thought you were losing everything, you were really being positioned for a version of yourself that could never exist without that fire. Number 3. You're about to see parts of yourself you've ignored or buried for years come alive. Resistance is pointless. There are parts of you that have been asleep for a long time. You buried them beneath fear, responsibility, and the voices of people who told you to stay small. Maybe it was the creativity you pushed aside because life got too busy. Maybe it was the confidence you lost after being told you were not enough. Or maybe it was the boldness you tucked away because you thought playing safe was the only way to survive. Those parts of you have been silent, but tonight they are coming alive. And when they rise, you will realize resistance is pointless. Imagine this. A child loves to draw, filling pages with color and imagination. But as they grow older, they are told that drawing is not practical. Slowly, they set it aside. Years pass, and the sketchbook collects dust in a corner. One day, out of nowhere, they feel an undeniable urge to pick up a pencil again. The lines may be shaky at first, but the fire is back. That is what is happening to you now. Something you left behind is calling for expression again. It might surprise you. It might even feel uncomfortable because you built a life around avoiding it. But what is coming alive within you is the truest part of yourself. And no matter how much you try to control it or quiet it down, the energy will not go away. It is a part of your design. This awakening will challenge you, but it will also free you. You will feel more alive than you have in years. You will start to see possibilities where you once saw limitations. You will sense that you were never meant to live hidden, dull, or half asleep. So do not resist. Do not second guess. What is rising within you is not a mistake. It is you reclaiming the pieces of yourself that should never have been silenced. Number 4. People around you may not understand your shift, and some will resent it. That's their problem, not yours. When transformation begins in your life, not everyone will clap for you. Some people will not understand your shift, and a few will even resent it. That is not your burden to carry. Their confusion or bitterness is not your responsibility. What matters is that you are finally stepping into who you are meant to be. Picture this. You used to be the person who always said yes, who stayed quiet, who never wanted to upset anyone. People grew comfortable with that version of you. They benefited from your silence, your patience, your self-sacrifice. Now suddenly, you are speaking up. You are setting boundaries. You are no longer shrinking just to keep others comfortable, and instead of celebrating your growth, they call you difficult or selfish. That reaction is not a reflection of your worth. It is a mirror showing their discomfort with your strength. Some will resent your courage because it forces them to face their own fears. Others will envy your progress because it reminds them of the areas they refuse to grow. And a few may try to pull you back into the old patterns you fought so hard to leave behind. Do not take it personally. You are not changing to gain their approval. You are changing because your soul demanded it. When you shift, you will see who truly supports you and who only liked the version of you that served their needs. This realization may sting, but it is also liberating. It shows you who belongs in your next chapter and who was only meant for a season. So do not waste energy trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Walk your path boldly. Keep growing, keep evolving, keep shining. The right people will adjust to your light. The rest will fade away, and that is perfectly fine. Your transformation is about you, not them. Number 5. Expect old patterns, toxic connections, and outdated habits to feel unbearable. Let them go without guilt. When true transformation begins, the things you once tolerated will suddenly feel unbearable. Old patterns, toxic connections, and habits that no longer serve you will start to feel heavy, almost suffocating. What once felt normal will now feel like a prison, and that is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that your spirit is no longer willing to settle for less. Think about this. Imagine someone who has been drinking the same bitter coffee every morning for years because they got used to it. One day, they taste a cup that is rich, smooth, and full of flavor. After that, going back to the bitter one feels impossible. That is what happens when you start to grow. Your soul gets a taste of freedom, peace, and clarity, and suddenly the things you once endured feel toxic to keep around. Toxic friendships will drain you in ways you can no longer ignore. Old habits like procrastination or self-doubt will feel like chains on your feet. Even patterns of thought, the ones that told you to keep quiet or play small, will begin to feel unbearable. This is not a punishment. It is an awakening. The hardest part is that guilt will try to follow you. You may feel guilty for leaving people behind. You may feel guilty for walking away from habits that once gave you comfort. But guilt is a trick of the past, trying to hold you where you no longer belong. You owe no apology for outgrowing people or behaviors that keep you stuck. You are not abandoning anyone. You are choosing yourself. You are not being selfish. You are being free. Letting go does not mean you hate them. It simply means you love yourself enough to release what weighs you down. So when the discomfort rises, do not run back. Let it push you forward. Release without guilt, because on the other side of letting go is the life you have been waiting to live. Number 6. Your dreams may become more vivid tonight, revealing truths you've been too scared to face. There are nights when your dreams feel ordinary, random, or easily forgotten. But then there are nights when your dreams refuse to let you go. They arrive vivid, intense, and alive, carrying messages your waking mind has been too afraid to face. Tonight may be one of those nights. Dreams are not just stories your brain invents while you sleep. They are doors to the parts of yourself you avoid in the daylight. They are mirrors showing you the truths you keep pushing down. Maybe you see yourself confronting someone you have been too afraid to stand up to. Maybe you find yourself in a place you left years ago, facing emotions you thought were gone. Or maybe you dream of a version of yourself who is bold, free, and unafraid. And when you wake, you realize that is who you secretly long to be. Imagine waking from a dream that feels so real it lingers in your chest long after your eyes open. Your heart races, not because the dream was frightening, but because it revealed something undeniable. It showed you the fear you keep avoiding, the person you keep running from, or the possibility you are scared to chase. The truth is, your subconscious knows what your conscious mind keeps denying. And when the timing is right, those truths break through in the form of dreams. Do not dismiss them. Do not brush them off as random. Pay attention. Write them down. Ask yourself why they felt so vivid and what part of you they are trying to awaken. Tonight, if your dreams confront you, see it as a gift. They are not meant to scare you. They are meant to prepare you. They are showing you the shadows you must face, but also the light you are ready to step into. What has been hidden is ready to be revealed, and once you face it, you will no longer be the same. Number 7. Your confidence will spike in ways that might make others uncomfortable. Embrace it unapologetically. There will come a moment when your confidence rises so strongly that it feels almost shocking, even to you. The insecurities that once kept you quiet will start to lose their grip. The hesitation that made you second-guess every move will suddenly fade. You will begin to stand taller, speak clearer, and move with a presence that cannot be ignored. But here is the truth. Not everyone will be comfortable with this version of you, and that is perfectly fine. Think about this. You used to walk into a room and shrink yourself, hoping not to draw too much attention. Maybe you softened your words, laughed at jokes that were not funny, or agreed to things you did not believe in just to keep the peace. Now imagine walking into that same room and people noticing the difference. You no longer lower your voice, you no longer apologize for existing, and you no longer ask for permission to be yourself. Some will celebrate that shift, but others may feel threatened. Confidence has a way of exposing insecurity in others. When you stop doubting yourself, people who relied on your weakness to feel powerful may start to resent you. They may say you have changed, they may call you arrogant, or they may try to remind you of who you used to be. But you owe no apology for growth. Confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the quiet knowing that you are worthy, capable, and strong enough to take up space. When others feel uneasy about your glow, it says more about them than it does about you. So embrace it. Walk boldly. Speak with assurance. Hold your head high without guilt. Your confidence is not meant to make others comfortable. It is meant to guide you into the life you were always meant to live. And the ones who truly belong in your journey will adjust to your light, not ask you to dim it. Number 8. Some of your dreams will no longer fit the person you're becoming. Stop forcing them. There comes a point in your journey where you realize that some of the dreams you once held close no longer fit the person you are becoming. At first, this can feel confusing or even painful. You may wonder if you are giving up or if you have failed yourself. But the truth is simpler and far more powerful. You are not failing. You are evolving. The dreams that once guided you were perfect for the version of you that existed then, but they may not be aligned with who you are now. Imagine someone who once dreamed of climbing the corporate ladder. They imagined the corner office, the recognition, the title. That dream fueled them for years. But as they grow, they realize what they truly want is freedom, creativity, or the chance to build something of their own. The old dream no longer excites them. It feels heavy instead of inspiring. Trying to force it only creates frustration. This shift happens because you are stepping into a truer version of yourself. And as you change, your dreams must change too. It does not mean your past goals were meaningless. They served their purpose. They pushed you, taught you discipline, and shaped your character. But holding on to them when they no longer fit is like trying to wear clothes that are 2 sizes too small. They restrict you. They make it hard to move. They stop you from stepping into the freedom of who you are becoming. Letting go of old dreams takes courage. It means trusting that new ones will rise to meet you. It means allowing space for visions that match your growth, instead of forcing yourself to fit into the boxes you have outgrown. So do not feel guilty for changing course. Stop forcing what no longer excites your spirit. The dreams you outgrow are not lost. They are stepping stones. And the dreams waiting for you now are bigger, brighter, and more aligned with the person you are destined to be. Number 9. Inner clarity will hit like lightning. You'll know what matters and what is pure noise. There are times in life when everything feels messy and complicated. You try to juggle too many responsibilities, chase too many goals, and listen to too many voices. But then there comes a moment when inner clarity strikes. It does not arrive slowly or gently. It hits like lightning. Suddenly, you see with sharpness what matters and what is pure noise. Think about a radio that has been tuned to the wrong frequency. For a while, all you hear is static. You strain to make sense of the sound, but it never feels clear. Then, with one small adjustment, the station comes in perfectly. The static disappears, and the message becomes undeniable. That is exactly what inner clarity feels like. One moment your mind is tangled, and the next, everything lines up with precision. When this happens, you will notice how many things you were giving your time and energy to that never truly mattered. The constant worrying about what people think, the fear of missing out, the endless need to prove yourself, all of it will suddenly feel like background noise. And in that moment, you will know what deserves your attention and what does not. This lightning of clarity may even shock you. It might reveal that the goals you thought were important were never really yours. It might expose how much energy you gave to people who only drained you. It might highlight how often you ignored your inner voice just to please others. The truth will be clear, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Do not be afraid of this. Clarity is a gift. It simplifies your path. It gives you permission to let go of the distractions and focus on what truly feeds your soul. Once you know the difference between what is real and what is noise, you will stop wasting time, and you will begin to live with direction, purpose, and peace. Number 10. You will outgrow people you once thought were permanent fixtures in your life. This is necessary. There comes a time in your journey when you will look around and realize you no longer fit with the people you once thought you could never live without. These may be friends you grew up with, relatives you leaned on, or even mentors who once guided you. At one point, they felt permanent, like they would always walk beside you. But as you grow, as your mindset shifts and your spirit expands, you begin to feel a distance. You will outgrow them, and as painful as that sounds, it is necessary. Imagine this. 2 friends start school together. They share laughs, secrets, and years of experiences. But as time passes, one begins to chase growth, self-discovery, and purpose, while the other chooses comfort and familiarity. At first, they try to keep the bond alive, but the conversations become shallow, the connection starts to fade, and being together feels more like holding on than moving forward. That is what happens when growth changes you. Not everyone is meant to follow. Outgrowing people does not mean you hate them. It does not mean they are bad or unworthy. It simply means your journey requires a different circle, a different energy, a different level of understanding. Some people can only walk with you for a season, and when that season ends, you must allow it to. The struggle comes when you try to hold on. Forcing relationships that no longer align drains you and slows your progress. You begin to shrink yourself just to keep them comfortable, but deep inside, you know you are ready for more. Release without bitterness. Be grateful for what those people meant to you, but do not chain yourself to what you have outgrown. Growth always requires space, and sometimes that space comes from walking forward without the ones you thought would always be there. You will lose some people on this journey, but you will find yourself, and in finding yourself, you will attract new connections that reflect who you are becoming, not who you used to be. In final words, chosen ones, tonight carries a weight that feels different. It is not about luck or chance, it is about timing. You have reached a place where change can no longer be delayed, and whether you realize it or not, something inside you has already begun to shift. The thoughts you have been wrestling with, the emotions you have been holding back, and the quiet dreams you tried to silence are all rising to the surface. This is the moment where the person you are becoming steps forward. Transformation does not always look dramatic on the outside. It might be as simple as a decision you finally make, a truth you finally accept, or a habit you finally release. But those small inner shifts create the foundation for lasting change. Tonight is about that kind of shift. Do not worry if others cannot see it or understand it. What is happening within you is not meant for everyone to explain. It is meant for you to embrace. Trust what you are feeling right now. Trust the uneasiness and the hope. Trust the spark that refuses to die. Tonight your transformation is not just possible, it is happening. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to support the channel.